Okay, so I prepared a model to accept my surface, and I'm going to now place that. So I'm going to go to the surface itself, which I've named tall surface or something like that. It'll give me our warning, and I'm in the wrong plane. So I'm going to just jump over here and place the component this way. And I've got a little roof thing coming out. Sorry about that. It's a little loud. And it's placing it the other way around, so I'm just going to rotate it. Grab it in the right location there and turn it around. And because I've set everything up, with the level being off the ground, I'm all ready to go here. So now let's take a look at what we have to do on the Dynamo end of things. So I want to just take a minute here and pull up a, take me just a second to find it. This is the Dynamo definition that we're going to create or work on. And so it's relatively simple. The idea is we're going to select a face, turn it into a diagrid, and you could change it into anything that had lines in it for the sake of this project. It doesn't have to be a diagrid. Take some points off of that because that comes off easily, and then kind of work these things around so that we come up with a polycurve, because that's what this accepts. And then we just have to explode the geometry so it can see individual elements, and then get them flattened because they'll be list and list. Feed it into the T-spline. And I'm redoing this video because last year when I had done it, the T-spline definition was different. So there was a different functionality. So I actually had to rewrite all of the videos for this. Anyway, we get the T-splines out, that surface gets visualized, and we have to at least convert it to something that direct shape by geometry will accept. And currently it won't take this geometry, this surface geometry right now, and I don't know why. So I'm just decomposing it into faces, so that's a hollow surface. And we feed it into direct shapes by geometry. So let's get started working through that definition. So I'm going to go to Manage and open up Dynamo. And move it onto the screen. And we're going to do a new project, obviously, and we're going to look for select faces. And it'll be aired out, obviously, because we haven't got anything selected for it. The next thing we want is a structure, and I think this is a lunchbox element. Wire diagrid, and you can see there's all kinds of other elements here, but I'm going to pick this one. And it accepts the surface. It allows us to make a UV grid, and then this idea of a true or false Boolean. I'm actually not sure what this means any longer, but I'm going to put that Boolean in right away because it needs an answer for it. It usually will tell you the definition. I have it set for false right now. And then this idea of dividing off the UV space, right now we'll just use a number. And I'll make 2 of them. In the last version I had done just 1, but let's go ahead. And so we have this idea of UV space. So let's try, I want to keep these numbers small right now to start with, 6, and let's say 4. And I'm not sure how it'll divide off, which direction U or V will be in. But we're right away already to start looking at creating a diagrid. So I'm going to go select the surface. I'm going to window that down, and I'm going to come in here and select that surface. And then we'll go back to Dynamo. And now we have an element defined, and the face is showing up. And actually, oh, I didn't mean to move it that way. I want to grab the surface geometry here. And back to this. I'm going to turn the surface face off because it's turn the preview off for that. Now you can see the way we have our diagrid set up, and we have 4 points or 3 points this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the grid is vertical 6 and horizontal 4. So if we were to change this to 3, this will get even longer and thinner looking. So that gives us some flexibility here. I'm just going to change that to 3. And now we have a, actually, let's go to 2 just to see what's going on here. So it's actually, we want more complexity in the vertical direction, so it's just the opposite. So I'm going to go 6 here, and I'm going to go 3 here, let's say. And I don't want 3,000, that'll probably take forever. Okay, so you can see the way you can manipulate, and right now the geometry is very weird, so let's try 4. Now we have a common grid there, and we probably want a little more vertical, so let's go to 8. Okay, so that's just a good start for that. Let's do a couple of more things that we need to do before we get to the T-spline. We need to take the polycurve, the points, and make them into a polycurve. So it's polycurve by points, and I'm not saying it so let's see if we can do it this way. I'm going to close this off, search off, and we're going to go in and find geometry, and we'll go to curves, and let's see if it, oops. Yeah, I'm not finding it easily. Like I said, it might be a lunchbox definition, so let's see if we can find it here. No. I'm going to type it in more accurately. There it is. And I'm not exactly sure where that is in the Revit library. So we connect that, and we're going to get an error off of that right away because I connected lines and I want points. Now it's happy. And then we could just look at what we've got here. So we've got a whole list of polycurves and a list of lists, and we could try to actually just move ahead here and find out just if we just flatten this. Whoops. I don't know how I got that one. Let me delete that. I just want flatten. And we'll come off with a list off of this. And these are just polycurves. I think we could feed these right into our T-spline. So I'm going to pick up on the next one. The issue, I'm going to leave a little space here because I did a geometry explode, and I'm looking at it now and I'm wondering why I needed to do that. So it'll be interesting when we pick up on the next clip if in fact that's absolutely necessary.